Do you have issues with your peep sight being twisted around? You twisted around before you shot and it's straight, and then you shoot it again and it's turned back around for the next shot? That's because you're preloading the string. You're putting preload in it, you're not actually solving the problem. You need to fix that twist in your string to bring that peep sight round straight again. If you don't have your peep sight perfectly flat and straight as you bring it back to aim, if it's off just a slight amount, you won't be able to line up the circle of your peep sight with the circle of your aperture on your sight. If they're not lined up properly, if your peep sight's twisted, you're going to be shooting off to one side. It's very important to make sure that your peep sight is pulled back nice and flat. Today, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to show you how to install the peep sight and make sure that it comes back straight. Today we're going to be installing a Jim Fletcher True Peep. It's the most common peep. So there are some other types of peeps which we're not installing today, and things like the Total Peep, and that's a longer peep, so it's sort of like looking through a cylinder to get down to your sight picture, and people will argue that they can be more accurate. You've also got a tri-slot peep. Now the tri-slot peep, it splits your string into 3 pieces, so it doesn't have to come back straight all the time. It actually sits in your string, comes back and then turns up that way so that you can see through it. Problem is, sometimes you can get one of your cables in the way. But to fix that, you can just slide your serving up or down 5mm and it'll put enough load in the string just to twist it around. So a lot of manufacturers use this one. It's called a self-aligning peep. Now the rubber band on this one pulls tight and pulls it straight, so it's always straight on your string and it's never twisted around. The problem with these ones is, especially up here in North Queensland, the UV light destroys these in a matter of 2 weeks. If you live down south somewhere, it might not destroy it so quickly, but up here, these you got to replace them every 2 to 4 weeks, and you buy rolls of it and keep it in your pack just in case it breaks. I don't like these personally, but they're really good for people who don't know how to get their peep straight. So let's look at this bow behind me here. We'll put the peep sight into it, and we'll have a look and see if it's going to be straight. But first thing you need to do is find out where you're going to be installing your peep. So the way that you're going to find out where you're going to install the peep is you're going to grab your bow, put an arrow in it, so you're not drawing it back without an arrow, that's very dangerous. Put your arrow in it, draw back and anchor to where your anchor point is, and get somebody to stand with you and just put a quick mark with a Nico on the string in front of your eyes. That'll give you a good starting spot. Then you put the peep sight in, tie it top and bottom so it can't fly out if you accidentally let the bow go. It's not a permanent tie, it's just a temporary tie. We'll show you that in a second. Then again, you'll pull it back, eyes closed, anchor in the right spot, open your eyes, and it should be sitting right in front of your eyes. If not, just get someone to slide it up and down the string until it's in exactly the right spot. So first off, let's put the peep into the bow. Okay, so we're going to be installing the peep at around about this position here. So unfortunately you do need a press for this sort of thing. Separate your string into exactly half. It's easy to do when you've got different coloured strings. Then we'll get our peep sight. And install in between the 2 strings there. And you can see that's not going to be coming back straight, but we'll sort that out in a second. Just take a bit of pressure off so it keeps it in there. And you can see as you slide your string up and down, your peep up and down the string, it's going to rotate that around to a different spot. So we'll show you how to get that exactly straight. It's more important that it's in the right spot for when you pull back the string. So we'll quickly tie this top and bottom so that it won't fly out on us or fall out on us. Okay, so to tie the string in temporarily, we've already done this one here, and I'll show you how to do this top one. So you get about 1.5 feet of peep and nylon tying thread, get in the center, twist it around and pull tight that way. Then do it underneath as well. Come up, around again. Do that 3 or 4 times. And one more time. You can leave the peep tied in like this, but your peep can still move with this method. And then just give it a half hitch to finish it. Cut it. And we'll burn that down as well. Just keep it nice and neat. Okay, So that's all burnt down. Now you can see that's not going to pull back straight. It needs to come right around. Now if you're going to go shoot your bow now and you turned it around like that, it comes around no problems at all. The problem is after you take your first shot, all the preload's going to be gone and it's going to be back around like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to need to, at the other end of the bow, take the string off, and we're going to put one turn into it in that direction so it pulls it around that way. You do that from the bottom end of the string, not the top. The top's not going, it's going to turn it way too far and it'll end up the other way around. So we'll turn it from the bottom on this one. Take this off. And we'll put one twist in there. Put it back on. So you can see the peep sight's now come back to be straight. The problem is, now our D-loop's bent around. Now if we go to pull that back, it's going to rotate the peep around again to pull back. So we need to set this D-loop straight before we do anything else. You can just grab the string and grab the knot, hold the string tight and push on that D-loop, those D-loop knots, and you'll be able to push it around the string. Now the problem with that is, you will need to retighten that after you've done it, just in case you've loosened the knots a little bit. So we'll do that now. We use D-loop pliers. The D-loop pliers are really handy. They're on our website, you can have a look at those. And then just retighten that. Okay, make sure it's not going to slip around. Okay, so the D-loop's nice and straight, the peep sight's nice and straight. Now you take it out of the press, go and have a couple of shots and make sure that it's coming back nice and flat. If it's not coming back flat, have a look and see which way it's got to be turned. And straighten it back up. Now if it's only like a 1/16 of a turn out or something like that, you can pull it straight by moving these knots on your D-loop. Simply hold your string, push the knot in whichever direction you need to, so that when you pull that, it pulls the peep back around straight again. Keep in mind, if this peep isn't in the right spot and you have to slide it up or down the string again because of the rotations in the string, your peep sight's then going to rotate one way or the other. So it's really important to find out and make sure that you've got that in the right spot before you set it straight again. So once you've got your peep sight all straight and you've gone out and drawn it back and had a shot and make sure there's no preload left in it and it's definitely coming back straight again, then you would serve the peep sight back in how I showed you in the other video. If you haven't seen that video, jump on our channel and have a look at typing in your D-loop video. So you can see the position this one is in now, and slightly rotated around in that direction. Now if we wanted to fix that, if we put a full twist in the bottom cam around this way, it's going to twist it so it ends up being too far around that way. So you can either put a half a twist in there, or you can get your D-loop and just twist that knot around a little bit, only a little bit, so that when you grab hold of it, you can see now if we were to pull that back, that would be sitting nice and straight. So you can twist your D-loop around like that to do that, and you can see the D-loop's not on much of an angle, so it's still definitely acceptable. And then of course, remember, tighten that after you've done that. If you don't tighten it, it's just going to move around and you could end up having it come loose. Now something that might be interesting for you if you're continuously having issues with your peep rotating around is things you can put in there, like the total peep aligners and things like that. It's just something that goes into your string and you can slide it up and down the string and your peep will rotate around depending on where it is. You can also make them yourself out of a piece of solid D-loop material. Get a piece of D-loop material, burn the end of it so it's not going to fray, and do the same to the other side. Okay, so you end up with a little tiny piece like that. Now use a press to get in and split the string, or if you don't have a press, you just put it in there where your peep is and then move it up like that before you serve your peep in. Now as you can see, if you put pressure back on your string, if you slide this, you'll see the peep sight moves around depending on where that dog bone goes to. So you can get it around exactly where you want it to sit. Now you put one in the top and one in the bottom also, and you'll be able to slide that around and your peep sight will come around as you need to, and it's a really good way to get your peep in the exact right spot. So you can either use the dog bone method or something like a total peep aligning kit, and you put them in the string like that and slide up and down, and it'll rotate your peep around to where you need it. But it's just as easy and just as good, or even better, to actually put the twists in your string or take twists out of your string like we've just shown. Okay, so that's all we've got for this video. If you've got any comments or you want to know something, just put them down in the comments below and I'll answer them as soon as I see them. Also, if you like this video and you got something out of it, hit the subscribe button. The subscribe button is what helps us to keep on making more videos. So I hope you got something out of that, and we'll see you in the next video.